you can find these vaults here. And if you actually enter these vaults, in fact, I'll just show you real quick. It's effectively just a treasure trove unique map in which you go around here and you can just acquire whatever happens to be within the maps.
Brother, can you believe that I have played this game like for 500 hours, PoE2, not one? And I have never found one of those. Can you believe I didn't know that existed? I am just learning right now that this exists in the game, dude. I didn't know this existed. What the fuck, Gigi? What are you doing, dude? Hey guys, I have this video here from Darth Microtransaction, our boy DM, where he says, let's talk about Path of Exile 2, and this was just released 9 hours ago for me. So I want to see what he has to say in here, because I know he's also playing the PoE1 event the same as me that we are playing in here. Of course, he's much more advanced than me. And I want to see what he has to say about PoE2 now that we know that the patch is coming in 1 month, or they say that they expect to release it in 1 month, and they reveal that teaser with 2 new uniques. I want to see what he has to say. Let's see what he has to say, dude.
Okay, we got a few things to talk about. 0.2.0 is the next major update coming for Path of Exile 2. They're starting to put some teasers out, including 2 new unique items that they have posted. They're coming to the game with that update. They also mentioned in a previous post about some of the more major points that they are trying to focus on as some of the biggest problems for Path of Exile 2 right now. There is a free cosmetic you can earn in Path of Exile 2. Actually, I'm eligible for it. You can watch my live stream today. I'll be live as of the posting of this video.
Hey, my stream is too. I am not saying don't go to his. His stream is awesome. I am saying you can also earn it on mine, dude.
And you'll get a free cloak in Path of Exile 2 if you watch for a number of hours and link your account on the Twitch down below. All that and more, let's go ahead and dig into what I expect to come in the next major update. Okay, first things first, they show...
What do we expect to come? Well, they are releasing uniques, which means they are going to release a bunch of uniques. I expect to come 3 new classes. I expect the Druid, the Huntress, and another one that we don't know which one will be. I hope it's the Templar, but I will be happy with whatever. I think they are also going to release the remaining ascendancies for the classes that are already on the game. You know that classes are supposed to have 3 ascendancies, and current classes only have 2 ascendancies. They will release more ascendancies from current classes. Maybe not for the whole 6, but at least for 3 of them, you know. They are going to release Act 4 at least, but I hope for Act 5 too. I hope for the whole thing, because they didn't know how to do it. If they release the whole 3 acts, if they don't do it, I think they will release the whole 3 acts. Or not release acts at all. But what I know for sure is Druid, Huntress, another class, some ascendancies, some uniques, and a whole rebalance of the game. And we will know what in what direction they want to try the game, right? If they want the game to speed up or slow down. So let's see. Templar Paladin before the 4 acts. Yes, dude. Like in PoE1 right now, we have the Paladin. They added with this event. And if they add Paladin or Crusader as an ascendancy for the Templar in PoE2, that would be insane. It will be like a fuck you to Diablo 4, dude. Like, that will be... Oh my god, I would come, dude. I would fucking come. Orgasms. If that happens, dude. If they release the Templar in 0.2.0 and one of the ascendancies is the fucking Paladin, dude. That would be insane.
2 new unique items on Twitter. Last night they just put these out there, and the first one's kind of interesting. First of all, the sword looks like the Gladiator helmet, if you've seen the artwork for the Gladiator in the game. And if you look at this, armor and evasion. Okay, so it is a hybrid base. Now it has increased armor evasion, accuracy rating, life regen, can't use chest armor, which is a absolutely enormous negative, and the reason it has that is it has a pretty good benefit of you can wield 2-handed axes, maces, and swords in one hand.
Yep.
And it looks a little bit like the Gladiator helmet from the Gladiators.
I love the model, by the way. I always love like the Gladiator aesthetic, let's say it that way. When I saw Gladiator with Russell Crowe the moment it came out in 2000, dude. Like they put... You will think that this is not true, but this is completely true. I was in 5th grade in primary school when that movie came out with Russell Crowe, The Gladiator with Russell Crowe. They showed that movie. I studied in Venezuela, right? They showed that movie to the whole class at that age. And that movie has gore. I believe it even has some nudity in it. Like, that movie is a heavy movie, dude. And they just showed that movie to a bunch of, I don't know, like 10 years old kids, dude, in 5th grade. And the movie was awesome, dude. Like, I don't think we grew up fucked up. It was like an historical thing, you know, hey, this happened, it is the Roman Empire, whatever. Cool. I don't know, I loved it, dude. And the thing is, what I want to come to is that I like the gladiator aesthetic. And I also watch Spartacus, dude. It was, I know that people don't like when I say this, but it wasn't the same when they changed the actor, dude. The first actor was better, my dude. You feel like it is another Spartacus when it is the other actor, dude. Are you not entertained? Yes, brother, that one. So I love the model of the helmet, and what I want to say about it is that I need PoE to have some form of transmog. And don't give me the transmog check that exists in PoE 1 where you have to buy a microtransaction to apply it once. That sucks dick. Give me a proper transmog system like D4 has or World of Warcraft has. Even if it is a $5 or $10 microtransaction to unlock the whole system, it will be awesome, dude. It will be awesome. Of course, don't charge for it, dude. You already are charging for actual full sets. People are still going to buy those because those are cooler, so who cares? Now, talking about the actual item. Why is this different than picking Giant's Blood in your tree? It is different because the downside is different. If you pick plus, it can be used by classes that are really far away from the node for Giant's Blood in the tree, right? The Giant's Blood, which is that you can dual wield two-handed weapons, it is on the side of the warrior, right? And the downside is that you require triple the attributes of the weapon to equip it. Big downside. Even for the warrior, it is hard. Sometimes it is hard to get the attributes. You have to get like 700, 800 strength to equip the weapon. It is a lot. It is really difficult to get to those levels of strength. And the other thing is that if you are really far away from the node, you are not going to travel all the way over here to get the node. So this helmet solves both things. In this helmet, you don't require the triple bonus, right? You just can equip it right away without no bonus. Like, you don't need the triple strength or whatever. You can just equip it. And it is cool for all classes. You don't have to travel to this node, right? But it has a different downside. And the downside is that you can't equip a chest. Because you are a gladiator. You don't give a fuck. You are not going to hide your chest. You are just going to fight like this and fuck everything. That is cool thematically, right? Now we have to see if in practice it is worth it to give away your chest. Because in your chest you get like a lot of defenses. You get life, you get attributes, you get resistances, and you also get stuff like spirit. If you are using auras, you get a bunch of spirit from your chest. So I don't know if it is worth it giving away your chest, but it is a cool item. I like it.
Ascendancy from PoE 1, which is not in Path of Exile 2 yet, and he doesn't wear a chest plate in that Ascendancy either. Or at least not visually on, the image of.
Oh, and by the way, I hope the Gladiator comes to PoE 2 at some point. Like, when we know the Duelist is coming to PoE 2, right? But we don't know the Ascendancies. I hope the Gladiator is one of those Ascendancies because the Gladiator is fucking cool. As I already established, I like the Gladiator aesthetic.
The Ascendancy. Now, one of the things they stated is not only are 6 new classes still coming to the game with 6 new, weapon types, but also there are 6 new ascendancies coming for the classes we already have. There's supposed to be 3 total ascendancies for every class, 12 total classes, 36 total ascendancies. So that means Warrior, Ranger, Sorceress, Monk, all of the original classes still have another ascendancy coming, and this can be tied to the Gladiator. So maybe it's a tease that a Gladiator ascendancy is coming to the Warrior, perhaps, or maybe it's part of the Duelist, or maybe it's not a tease at all and it's just a helmet. Now, the next one's kind of interesting. We have a higher physical damage unique mace with only a level 65 requirement. So this isn't too bad of a mace.
By the way, I have another thing to say about this. If you look at the items themselves, you will see that unique items are based on a normal item. For example, I will open my inventory here, and I have that this is a chainmail vest, right? If you want to get a unique that is based on the chainmail vest, you use an orb of chance on the chainmail vest, and you will get a unique that is based on chainmail vest, right? So every unique has a base item. If you look at these two new uniques, the base item that they are based off, for example, this hammer is based on the giant maul. You will see that those bases are not in the game, which probably indicates that those bases are coming to the game with the patch. That is something cool that you can check out in there. This is, and the helmet also has the same thing. And they said that the new bases were going to come with extra acts, which tells me that we are going to probably have extra acts. I don't know, weird thing that I am thinking about. Maybe it is totally not true, but I think that this connection tells me that there are going to be extra acts, because they say no extra item bases until we give you the acts. But here you have two new uniques that are with new bases. So if you are going to give me the new bases, probably you are going to give me the acts, right? I don't know, crazy conspiracy theory I have, dude.
Just in terms of a physical damage output here, you can see it's 325, 488 before quality or sockets, but then it has 10% reduced attack speed. Okay, so again, we're kind of doing the reduced attack speed on something that's already slow, but it has some cool other.
Exactly, people were mad about the attack speed. I said it as a joke, but there was people that was genuinely mad about the attack speed requirement. But at least we finally have a mace that has damage, dude. Because if you look the maces, the unique maces, right, that are on the game right now, we are talking about uniques in here, not rares. If you look at the unique items that are right now, or the unique maces that are right now in the game, none of them have good damage, bro. All of them have a stupid damage. This one has a little bit more damage. For some people, it's still not enough for the ultra end game. But maybe you use it mid-game, right? Like when you are finishing campaign and starting early mapping, and it is good enough for that stage of the game. We will still have to see, but I think it has good damage. I think it has good damage compared to the current uniques we have, right?
Passives, 10% to all LE res is all right. 50% increased mana regen is okay. But then you have gain a random shrine buff every 10 seconds is actually pretty cool, especially if, you know, buff duration will increase this buff length.
It is cool, and for sure buff duration will probably augment it. We don't know if it will override it, because maybe you get a skill duration and then you have or buff duration, and then you will get two buffs. But then if they made it so one buff overrides the old one, then it sucks. But if it doesn't override it, it is cool. Now the thing that people have been saying, which is true, is don't give me the buff that converts items to gold, because then you will turn my divine orbs into gold, and that will suck. Or also don't give me the one that corrupts every item that drops. Just give me cool buff, the combat buffs. If it doesn't give you the bad buffs, it is cool. If it gives you the bad buffs, it is less cool. You can, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the same as World of Warcraft. You can right-click the buff and it will remove it. So if you are aware that you are getting the gold buff, you can remove it. But how annoying is that, dude? Going around playing the game and, oh, I got the gold shed and removing it. Oh, I got the gold shed and removing it. That is not fun gameplay, dude. That sucks dick. How good are shine buffs? They are really good outside of the two that I just mentioned. The other ones, there are some that are insanely cool. There are one that gives you movement speed and attack speed, and that one is insane. There are a lot of pretty good shrine buffs, for sure.
And then it doesn't, account for the fact that it's every 10. Maybe you can get over 10 seconds so you can start stacking these. This one's actually kind of interesting. And maybe if you pair this with the helmet, where you can wear multiple of these things, then you're basically getting 20 all res, and you're getting 20% admittedly reduced attack speed. But then you're also getting 2 random shrine buffs, maybe that pop up every 10 seconds. So kind of interesting uniques. Now, if I go full warrior copium, what does this mean to me? Mace, they're teasing new warrior ascendancy, the gladiator, the duelist, and they're also teasing mace rework, but probably not.
Probably not
because we're going into when
I am. You guys know that I am also a warrior enjoyer, and warrior needs a lot of love. And warrior will probably get a little bit of love. For example, they are going to 100% buff armor, dude. There is no way in hell they don't buff armor. But at the same time, I don't think they will take warrior to where we want them to take it, because they have stated that they are happy with what warrior is. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. I will not inhale the copium until I actually see something cool, dude.
0.2 comes out, over 3 months into the game. I would expect to see something major coming out with this update. We're looking at something like, a new class at a minimum. You have to keep in mind, we're 3.5 months, 6 to 12 month release date, 6 new classes. That means we need basically a new class every 2 months. So we would want like 1.5 classes effectively, or some new ascendancies for the base classes that we have.
We are going to get 2 at least. And I think we are going to get 3. 2 at least in the form of Druid and Huntress. And I think we are going to get a 3rd. And I hope it is the Templar. But I will be fine with Shadow, Marauder, or Duelist. Any of those will be cool. But I prefer the Templar, of course. But all of them are cool. I hope to play any of them. I also like the Shadow. I also like the Duelist. And I also like the Marauder. All of them are cool.
Plus a new class, a new weapon type to stick to sort of that 1-year timeline that was originally stated. Now, that's just on the content side of things. I actually have a whole list of things I would really love to see.
Okay,
I posted this
let's
a while
see
back on Twitter. These are some of the things I would love to see in some of the next major updates. I think additional crafting systems. I put this right at the top. I think this is one of the things that Path of Exile 2 actually really needs. I understand there is this concept
and they will 100% give it, dude, because they said in the interview they did with you that they were going to do it. So I believe them, dude. I believe them they are going to do something about it. Why wouldn't I believe them, dude?
We want loot that you are actually using to be acquired basically on the floor, that you can get a drop that can be really good and doesn't require you to learn 50 different systems about the game. However, you go back and you play Path of Exile 1, even Diablo 4. Both of these games have, significantly better crafting systems. Like basically any other game, Last Epoch has some sort of crafting system. And in Path of Exile 2, it's basically just gambling. I mean, you're just going to chaos orb something.
It is identifying with extra steps.
I mean, let me put it this way. How many times has this happened to you? You get a really good item that dropped on the floor. Maybe it's 4 affixes, maybe 5 affixes. 3 of those affixes are pretty good. 1 or 2 of them have a chance to be chaos orb. So you're like 1 out of 3. And if you exalt it, maybe you got a bad stat. So now you're 3 and 3. 3 of them. It's a coin flip, basically. You can get something and make the item effectively better. And you could say, well, DM, well, how about omens? You could go out there and you could get one of the omens that makes it where it forces on.
Omens are too rare and too expensive, and they basically don't exist. People that are using omens are people, and I will say this, I have a whole theory. I don't want to extend myself in here. I can tell you the theory if you guys ask for it, but people that use omens, 98% of them are real money trading. That is the truth.
On the suffix or a prefix. So let's just say that all of the suffixes are bad and all the prefixes are easy, just to make, or perfect, just to make the conversation easier, okay? Those omens are not only massively expensive and quite rare, but they basically don't exist in the game. And then let's not even forget, if you're talking about early game in Path of Exile 2, it's not worth it to invest into an item like that. Like if you get an item at level 50 that's quite good in the manner I'm talking about, there's no reason to invest a late game amount of currency. In fact, you probably don't even have remotely that much currency to get 1 omen to gamble on an item that's probably worth 1 exalt in the open market literally anyway. And you would have to use the currency exchanger, which is a non-SSF mode. If you're playing SSF, well, you can't craft literally anyway until you can find.
That is why I will play, and I this is like the 3rd or 4th time that I tell you guys this, but maybe some people haven't heard this. I am inventing a new way of playing the game, and I am calling it SSF Plus. Like with a little plus sign, right? And it will be for the new league, right? Unless they change the game in some way where I don't need to do this, right? But for now, my intention is I play the game in normal trade league, right? But I don't trade. I remove myself from trading. I don't party up with anyone. So that is like a self-imposed SSF. But since I am in trade league, I can use the currency exchange. So that is why it is SSF Plus. I play as SSF, but I have access to the currency exchange. If you play the real SSF, you don't have access to the currency exchange, and it is a pain in the ass because maybe you get currency, but not the currency you need to craft, and then you are screwed. For example, by playing solo SSF, a divine orb is like you rarely use it, right? But if you are playing in the trade league as SSF, but get access to the currency exchange, you can change the divine orb that you got as a drop for a bunch of exalteds, and now you can use those exalteds to craft your shed, right? So that is my plans for next league. I am telling you this, guys. I am telling you this so that if you choose, you can also play like this, you know. If they don't completely change the game in some form where pure SSF is viable or trade is better, you know. So we will see. We will see.
The omens, which again is a late game thing. So crafting basically doesn't exist in SSF or doesn't exist in even trade unless you're in ultra late game and happen to be rich. And at that point, you can spend the same currency, basically just straight up buying the game.
Exactly.
Better.
If you have, I don't know how many divines to buy an omen, why the fuck would you buy an omen to craft if you can just buy the item? You buy the item, dude. You buy the item and fuck it.
Anyway, so in its current state, no matter what form you are of playing the game, it's not that good. But let's go back to the item example. So you have perfect prefix, horrible suffix. Omens aren't really being used for the reason I've stated. And you have a coin flip. You flip the coin flip. It hits, you know, the 50-50 on the wrong side of the coin. And now you have basically a completely worthless item. Does this sound like something that sounds fairly familiar to you? And breaking items should exist, but you should have methods of honing down and making an item better. And that can come through one of these other additions, such as new in-game mechanics, or basically league mechanics that can arrive in some of these games.
They will 100% add new league mechanics. Even if it is just one, they will 100% do it because they have stated that they want a robust endgame. One of the things that people have complained the most is about endgame. There is no way in hell they don't improve endgame in some shape, way, or form. And one of the ways that you can improve endgame is by adding league mechanics, right? That they already have them ready because they use them in PoE 1. Also, another thing that I think I know for a fact they are going to include in next patch, and I didn't mention earlier, is the third trial of ascension. They mentioned that we right now have two methods of ascending, the trial of the Sekemas and the trial of chaos. But they said when the game launched that they were going to introduce a third method that you could use. That thing will come, for sure. That thing will come.
An economy reset, probably some sort of pseudo league in 0.2 would be my guess, as they want to bring players back into the game, and that probably will require an economy reset at this point. And very often they implement league mechanics with that sort of thing, and some new crafting systems could come within that. They've also mentioned they want to update things like the current league mechanics to make them better, so greater essences could be improved. The omen issue I'm mentioning could be, be more frequent, or maybe there's a way to target farm those through rituals. So they don't necessarily have to implement new league mechanics to make the system better. They could just juice up and hone down and improve the quality of life of some of the systems that are already implemented into the game. And this would also improve the crafting within the game. Now, one of the things 100%. They've been doing that I hope they continue to do is adding quality of life, like being able to see the citadels outside.
Can't wait till they sort out the market, brother. The market in this league is already fucked, right? But they are going to reset. We are going to get a new economy, a reset league when they release the patch. So let's hope the game as a whole is better so that the economy doesn't go to shit as fast. And you know what they should do with it is nerf rarity. If they nerf rarity, the market won't be so scuffed. But we don't know if that will happen because they have said that they think that rarity is all right. So we will have to wait and see.
side here was a very nice quality of life added in the game. And if you didn't know, up here, there's a map legend. This has been in since the start of the game. You can click here and it'll show you what these actually break down as. One additional quality of life I would love to see is the ability to click right here and type. Like if I want to type in any of these legends, they have this nicely here. I could type in,
I also want to do
well,
that.
what about unique map? And I type in them right there. And then it would be like a Control F search where I can basically click through all of the different iterations I have on the map. And it would go to those nodes. Or I could maybe even click and highlight, like highlight map boss, highlight irradiated, highlighted breach. So I want map bosses that are irradiated with breach in them. And then it will.
I am honestly scared about this update. Why, dude? I am excited about the update. It will be awesome. I am sure it will be great, and we will be even more hooked to the game, dude. I am excited for it. Why would you be scared instead of excited, dude? Do you think they have the possibility of screwing up the game? Like, I think that if they do something that takes the game in a bad way, they will just fix it, you know? I have faith, dude.
I'll highlight those ones, and again, let me cycle through them. It's small additional quality of lives like this. I love that they're continuing to do these types of things, and I hope they continue to do it because quality of life is something that's desperately needed in an ARPG. As anytime you run into irritating things, they can be quitting moments if you continually have that irritating moment over and over.
There are a lot of irritating things in PoE2 that we deal with them because the game is good. But for example, if you are in the Trial of Chaos and you take the waypoint and you say, take me to my hideout, it will tell you, you can go to your hideout from here. What kind of a stupid bullshit is that, dude? And then you have to TP to a different place and then take out the waypoint again to go to your actual hideout. What kind of bullshit is that? Fix it. That is quality of life, dude.
Over and over again. So I think they've done a pretty good job at improving the quality of life generically, and I hope they continue to do this. And of course, meta rebalancing. How many times have you seen builds that include Herald of Ice and...
They will 100% nerf Spark. They will nerf stacking. They will nerf Lightning Arrow. They will nerf the Spirit Shield, and they will buff armor. For sure they will buff armor this time, right, guys? This is not Copium and stuff like that. 100%.
Herald of Thunder, that's like half the builds right.
Yo, Diego, my dude, PoE2 still exists. I thought they shut it down, brother. Of course it still exists. It is an awesome fucking game, dude. We have 2 awesome games in here. I am having fun in PoE1, by the way. A lot of fun. But I am still every day thinking about the patch for PoE2, the 0.2 patch. And I hope it's awesome, dude.
Now because it's the way of automatically screen clearing. So I am assuming that in 0.2 we're going to see a significant rebalancing of the meta. Now I thought about this, and I think that 0.2 is going to be very interesting because it's going to tell us one of 2 things. It's going to tell us either they want the game to be like Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, in which you're very strong, you scale up, you're popping the maps, or they want it to be closer towards the beginning of mapping where it's a little bit slow.
Hey, I told you this, guys, I told you this earlier. He's also thinking the same thing as me. The way they balance this patch, I forgot that here in PoE1 you don't have a pause feature. Hey, put a pause feature. That is one of the best things that PoE2 has. The pause feature that doesn't exist here in PoE1. I told you guys earlier when the video started that this patch will tell us what they want the game to be. The way they balance the game in the endgame will tell us they want the game to be faster or slower. I told you guys this, and he's saying something similar, right? Depending on what they do, it will tell us if they want the game to be sum-summy like PoE1, or if they want the game to be more like the campaign where the combat is more meaningful. What is my choice? I want it to be more like the campaign. That is my choice. So let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. But I think the patch, the way they balance the stuff, will indicate the trend, or it will indicate the path that they are willing to take. Did you see what I did there? The path, you know, the path of, okay, it's a good game, but the grinding is so annoying. Oh, brother, well, that is like the nature of ARPGs, right? What ARPG you don't grind? In PoE1, you also grind. But I understand what you are saying. In PoE1, you grind, but there are more stuff to grind. In PoE2, you are like grinding the same shit. I get you, man. I get you. So let's hope they give us more toys to play with, right?
Lower, and you're not just immediately one-popping everything. If they nerf down Herald of Ice, like the Stat Stack or Spark builds. These builds are really kind of destroying literally everything, and they tune it down to be significantly slower across the board from a ceiling of power perspective. Then we know, okay, well, they are, they wanting the game to be a lot slower in the end game effectively. They don't like this power level of players. Something else they might do is they might raise the floor of the power up and give people more options that are similar to this style of Herald of Ice, Lightning, Spark, etc. There might be new skill gem additions, because again, we got 6 new classes, 6 new applications of skill gems with new weapons, etc. We're going to see a lot of new.
That is another thing that you guys have to mentally prepare for. They may fix stuff that is broken with the current classes, the current skills, and the current items. But we are going to get an influx of classes, skills, and items, and that might bring a whole new set of broken shit. You guys have to understand this might happen, and not that it might happen, that it will probably happen. So don't get disappointed when they release the Huntress and they find players find some crazy bullshit that completely breaks the game, that there was no way that the GGG could have foreshadow, so, or prevented, let's say it that way. So even if they balance the existing stuff, they are going to introduce a new whole set of stuff that will also break the game. So let's just give them time to go fixing all the shit, Finger crossed, I am excited though, really. My Herald of Ice and Thunder build. I also am using that shit with the Stat Stacker. I am using the Stat Stacker because it is too overpowered. And when people ask me, I always tell them, this build needs to be deleted. It needs to get nuked from orbit. It shouldn't exist. It is an abomination. And I am sure they are going to nerf it because it has some interactions that they really didn't think they were going to happen.
Tech introduced into the game, and we could actually see a lot of new tech similar to the Herald of Ice added that could add the variety in it. I've thought about this, and often I wonder, I think it's 2 things. I think one, people don't like seeing the screen clear immediately with just 1 tap, and that's fair enough feedback. But I think another portion of it is it's really the lack of variety that annoys a lot of people when it comes to things like Herald of Ice and seeing Spark for the millionth time. It's because there's only a certain number of builds that currently do this screen clearing, and when you're doing hundreds of maps in a row, you're going to want to screen clear very quickly.
So that is another thing that we have to discuss when we talk that, for example, me, that I want the game to be a slowed down. If the game is going to be a slowed down, you have to slow down the mobs too. You have to slow down the amount of mobs, so the density of the mobs. You have to slow down their speed. You have to reduce the amount of crazy affixes, because if you only nerf me, it will be even worse than what we have now. Right now we have low build diversity because the mobs and the bosses in the pinnacle bosses are cracked, and the only way you can beat them is by using one of these completely broken builds. So people choose the path of least resistance and they go for the crazy builds that one-shot everything and are really fast, so that you don't die and you are able to clear the maps. So if you really want to slow us down, that I don't know if that is what they want to do, they also have to slow down the game itself, or then nothing will happen and we will feel even worse. You have to remember that too. That is one of the reasons why right now we have so low build diversity, because these are the builds that can confidently do this right now. And that is why you only have Lightning Arrow, a fucking Stat Stacker, and a Spark, and the fucking Temporalis shit blinking all the way through and killing everything.
Why would you purposely run a build, unless you're Karn, I guess, that's slower on the screen? You're playing Warrior all the way to level 100 or something like that. You're just going to run a class that's faster because you're farming some currency or materials or what have you. So they might add new additions to actually bring the floor of the power level up. But the 0.2 will be pretty important because we'll kind of get a look into the mentality of the new skill gems that they're bringing to the game. Are they going to make maces faster? Or are they going to add more weapons that are similar to maces? Are they going to nerf Herald of Ice to be much less of, the power level as it is? Or are they going to bring up some of the other Herald, maybe Herald of Ash or, et cetera? Are they going to bring up some of the power level of some of the other abilities? So 0.2 is going to be kind of laying the cat out of the bag in terms of how they're feeling about the in-game balance, because we haven't had a major rebalancing yet. To give credit on Path of Exile 2, after playing Path of Exile 1, I've got to tell you, I very much more so enjoy the current socket system in Path of Exile 2.
Dude, same! W, base! True and real, dude. The most exciting is new skills for me. Yes, exactly. And the new skills, or the new classes come with new skills and new weapons. So it is like a whole combo. It is awesome, brother. It is awesome.
Go back into PoE 1 currently on the event and redo links, redo the color of it, and then you get an upgrade and you can't wear it because it doesn't have the sockets.
Exactly.
I've learned to enjoy this socket and skill system drastically over the previous iteration. That is one of those scenarios where less does feel like more for me. It's technically less crafting, but that was a portion of crafting I actually hope does not come back into the game, as it always felt more like a chore and a hindrance from being able to make new pieces of gear or use new pieces of gear that you acquire, as opposed to helping me along the way. But we can probably safely assume in 0.2, we're going to see the 4 major points addressed that they say are currently on their mind, as these are the biggest problems. I'm actually...
PoE2 maybe need more defensive layers. It does, brother, it does. Right now, the only defensive shed you have is fucking Spirit Shield. That is stupid. If I am playing as a fucking warrior, do you think I want to have a Spirit Shield? That is the last fucking thing I want to have, dude. So yes, you are completely true. Every class right now has to build fucking a Spirit Shield. That is stupid, dude. This video of the M is the first thing I watched this morning when I woke up. I also just finished Act 2 yesterday. Oh, brother, did you like the video? So far I am liking it. It is cool. It is prompting us to talk about cool shit. So you just finished Act 2. I am still on Act 2, as you can see. But I am having fun. This is cool. Armor, brother. Exactly. We need armor to be great again. Or great, because it was never great.
Curious to see that crafting isn't really on there, but it could be into in-game progressions, what they mean. So basically, they mentioned the major balance issues with many player skills. We talked about that. Not enough build options, or including build-defining uniques. We talked about that. In-game progression balance is off. This is actually one that in PoE 1, they do this pretty well. So what happens is when you get to maps, you know how when you get to maps and Doriani says, like, do this tier of maps, then do this tier of maps, and you go through the progression of tiers of maps. When PoE 1, they do it where if you hit like tier 5 of maps, for instance, or tier 10 of maps, like as you're progressing through them, then you have these little like breakpoint fights in which he's going to give you, like, here's a boss to go fight, okay? And you get the reward associated with the boss, etc. So I think that that would be a good way to do it. You hit tier 10, they give you a boss.
They have to do that for the extra shed in the Atlas, for example. Maybe not for the main tree, but right now the system is backwards for the league mechanics. Like they tell you, you need to go and fight the bridge boss to get points in the bridge mechanic. But to fight the bridge boss, you need stuff from the bridge mechanic. And to farm them optimally, you need the points. So the system is backwards. So what people do is, instead of farming the bridge fragments to build the bridge stone and then fight the boss, what you do is you just buy the bridge stone, fight the boss, and now you get the points to put them in the tree to farm the fragments for the bridge stone. So it is completely backwards. They have to fix this, at least for the first time. Give me a quest. When you give me a free bridgestone, I fight him, I get the 2 points, and then we continue moving forward, right? This is what I think they should do. It's energy shield, brother. Brother, why was I saying a spirit shield if it is energy shield? Is there a game that uses a spirit shield? I am an idiot, dude. It is the same shit. It is some magic bullshit that wizards use. Fuck mages, fuck wizards, fuck sorcerers, fuck those bitches. Their mechanics force you to play something you do not want to play. Yes, that is happening. They have to fix that. And I am optimistic that they will try to improve that, brother. But yeah, it's kind of impossible to play PoE2 right now if you stick to every class intended stats. Armor and evasion for merge, your defense is dog shit because you need ES to tank other damage. Completely, brother, completely. You are on the money. Like right now, you have to go out of your way to pick other bullshit that you don't want to pick. And call me a nerd, call me whatever you want, but this is an ARPG. What is the R? What does the R stands for? Role. And it is role playing. I care about the fantasy of the game. I know there are some blasters out there that only care about damage and they don't care about what class or build they are playing. They just want to do a lot of damage and kill everything. I care about what I'm playing. If I don't think my character is a cool dude, I am not having fun. So, if I don't want to use fucking Spirit Shield because I think, sorry, Energy Shield, because I think that is for pussy mages, wizard shits, then allow me to not use fucking Energy Shield, dude. Well, I think this is the same thing it happened with PoE1 as on his baby diapers. They will fix it in time and with the being an awesome game. Brother, that is what I think, dude. That is what I think, and I am confident. I have faith. I am optimistic. But what I want is for it not to take 10 fucking years. But when the game actually releases in 1.0, it is awesome. That is what I want. I think it is awesome right now. What I want is like to be complete, nice.
Fight, hey, go fight this, instead of you just having to farm breach until you get Zesh or farm all the citadels, you get Arbiter, etc. There's other fights that you have along the way. Something that when someone asks you where you on your maps, you can say, oh, I just fought the, the tier 10 boss or something like that.
I agree with this thing. I agree completely with this thing that DM is saying. This is based.
Along the way, I think would be something quite interesting. And then this is kind of a generic one where they say not enough cool things to find in in-game. And I think that pretty much boils down to mechanics. Like, while you're in your map itself, you need to be able to find cool mechanics to do. Or, you know what I really enjoy is when you are on the map, suddenly you run into these unique maps. Like, how many of you guys have ever actually even seen the vaults? And some of the citadels, right around the citadels, there are vaults. I think it's the stone citadel. I forget which one. It could be the iron. I think it's the stone citadel. Here you go. You can find these vaults here. And if you actually enter these vaults, in fact, I'll just show you real quick. It's effectively just a treasure trove unique map in which you go around here and you can just acquire whatever happens to be within the maps.
Brother, can you believe that I have played this fucking game like for 500 hours, PoE2, not one? And I have never found one of those shits. Can you believe I didn't know that existed? I am just learning right now that this shit exists in the game, dude. I didn't know this existed. What the fuck, Gigi? What are you doing, dude?
You can just open up here. You get, it's just a loot. It's just basically a giant loot box is what the map is. And this is a unique map that only shows up around the citadel. So that was pretty cool. In fact, there's some maps that I've played the game, just about 700 hours now. And there's a map called C Notes I've only ever actually seen once. And that's just like a type of map. It's not even anything special. So being able to run into things you haven't seen before, I think would go a long way in the Atlas mapping. So we'll see what comes with 0.2.0. These are just some of my speculations, predictions as we are kind of twiddling our thumbs waiting around for the update. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. It'll be live now. If you want to get your free Twitch cosmetics, you just have to watch the channel for a few hours. The link will be down below. Link
I am also streaming. You can also get it with me.
Account on the Path of
with
Exile
whatever
website,
you want.
and then
Have
it'll
fun.
show up in Path of Exile 2, and you have a free cosmetic.
Just wanted to know that you can also get it with me. Hey, but that was an awesome video, dude. I enjoyed it. It was cool, and we got to talk about cool shit, dude. Thank you very much, DM, for this awesome cool video. Like, I know that I yap a lot, guys, but I love the game. I have a lot of things to talk about the game, dude. Like, yes, I am a yapper by nature, and when I am passionate about something, I yap a lot more. Thank you very much, DM, for this awesome video, my dude. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments, even when they don't agree with me. Also, remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.